episode of the Lisa Pezik Show. It's been a while since I've been solo coming at you with whatever I want to teach and whatever I want to speak about. I had a really great batch of incredible humans on my podcast the last month and a half. Everything from expert connectors to leaders to strategists, best-selling authors. Yes, people courageously sharing their stories and their expertise. So I encourage you, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Go back and listen to the gold that was given in these previous episodes. Such an honor having them, and such an honor having you here tuning in with me. Again, if this is your first time, the idea is that I give you quick, to the point stories and strategies that you can go and make a change in your business and in your life. I shy away from those terms like level up and massive expansion because I feel like that's too big sometimes for people. We know that in order to have your dreams come true, to reach those financial and impact and income goals that you want in your business, in your life, it takes time. You got to be in it for the long game. Or if you're working with me, we're playing the long game, and it's bit by bit, step by step, bite by bite that happens. So that's what this is all about. I want to make it really tangible, really actionable, really doable for you so that you leave going, I can do that. I know exactly what I need to do. Today, I want to talk about your copy and your content. And as a content creator, content expert, I help build a lot of content for our clients, whether that's course creation videos, lead magnets, names of memberships or group coaching programs, funnel sales copy. I'm constantly paying attention to the words that I use in my business and the words that our clients use. Why? Because authenticity, integrity, and intelligence are three things that everyone needs to tap into to be successful. So authenticity, meaning you have to speak like you. Your messaging has to sound like you and true to your personality. Integrity, meaning that you're going to deliver and follow through what you say you're going to do. You're not going to make promises you can't keep. And lastly, that piece of the authority piece and the intelligence, meaning yes, you are the authority as the expert. You are the one offering someone and inviting someone to come and work with you with the sale, but it is not speaking over their head and not trying to have this divide of us versus them and not being clear. Because when we try to be clever and cutesy or intelligent and prominent or whatever words that we want to put that persona on, if we confuse our potential client, they're not going to follow you or us. They're not going to buy anything. They're not going to refer. They're not going to want to stick around. So it has to look, sound, feel exactly who and what you are, which we muck it all up. We overthink it. We overplan it. We don't just say it like it is. Now, my latest program, Burn to Rise, when I first came up with that idea, I thought there's no way this thing is ever going to sell. It is a filling in the gaps and traps in your business 21-day course, but we're digging into your self-talk and your story and your strategies and rising up to something better. That really resonated with me. When you can fill those gaps and traps, you just eliminate all sorts of garbage that you don't need, or you pivot, you stop doing things that aren't working, things that seem really hard. And that gap, if I can fill that, you'll rise up quicker. And the burn means it's can't come back again. Limiting beliefs or strategies or things that don't work. Working with teammates or people that don't work. Working with clients that don't work. It's getting to the core of who you are. While we're talking about marketing, messaging, Facebook ads, product suite, value ladder, that's where burn to rise came about for me. I'm very, even though it's kind of woo-woo and a little bit more fluffier than I like to put out, like my first course was online in 9 steps to get your first online paying client. Very clear. You can have things like burn to rise. You just have to do a really good job of explaining what those words actually mean and what that significance and symbolism means. So let's talk about when you're naming programs. Let's talk about when you're naming who you are and what you do. How many times have we been told that elevator pitch and be the chief transformation of the heart activating expert? It just confuses people. Who are you? What do you do? Quit trying to be cutesy and clever. Tell people exactly what you do. So let's think about what we call ourselves, what we name things, how we describe who we are and what we do. And I have 3 L's that's going to take you through that. L like Lisa, my name, 3 L's. So the first one is, what does it look like? Meaning, when you help people, what does it look like? I was having a conversation with my husband the other day when we were talking about, what do I do? What do we do? How do we help people? What does it look like? And he looked at me and said, you're an attention coach. And I'm like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, yeah, you're an attention coach. He loves to be right. And I kind of started to unpack that and went, yeah, you're right. I help people keep attention on them, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whether it's course, whether it's social media, whatever platform you're on. I teach you the words and the physicality and the presence and the structure and the flow of your content. That's what it looks like. When you work with me, your stuff is so good that people pay attention to you. So that first question I want you to answer is, what does it look like? My husband is a brand equity builder. What does that look like in our own business and with other people? He's helping you leverage the power of building a brand and then being a part of other people's brands so that there's skin in the game. You're not just being paid for a job. You're all working towards a common goal. So what does that look like? Not being paid for a job, working towards a common goal together, brand equity. So that's the first thing I want you to answer. The second piece that I want you to think about is the literal meaning or the literal piece of what you do. And this is so true to home for me because we have a 6-year-old. If you've been tuning in or seeing me on any of my other platforms, you know that I often talk so much about our whole entire world, Oliver, our son. And I giggle and we laugh sometimes about how literal kids take things. Like when you say something, it could be a figure of speech, it could be trying to be cute, it could be slang, and they literally take it word for word what you say. So if you were to describe a product, a course, a service, a program, what you do, if you were to explain to my 6-year-old, or if you have kids that are under the age of 10, if you or someone that you know with kids under the age of 10, if you were going to explain, or a kindergarten class, if you had to give a presentation to a kindergarten class and you want them to understand who you are and what you do, how would you explain that? The more literal that you can be, the better off your content and your copy is going to be, because people don't want to feel stupid. They don't want to feel like they don't understand, and they don't want to ask questions for fear of you thinking that they're stupid. So they're not going to keep their attention on you. They're not going to buy your programs. They're not going to ask those questions. We want to make it as simple and literal as possible. I wish I could think of something funny for literal that our son said. Maybe I'll add it in the show notes if I remember. But you know what I mean by saying they literally take word for word what you say. And then the last L is love. What do you love about what you do? What do you love about your programs? What do you love about your services? What do you love when you speak, about your speaking style? If you write, what do you like about your writing style? If you coach, what do you love about the way that you coach? There's so much wisdom and gold when, again, we don't try to overthink it. You know, when someone asks you, what do you love about that movie? What do you love about that wine? What do you love about that restaurant? What do you love about your partner? You don't even think about it. Right off the top of your head, you can start describing and saying what you love, because it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's an experience that you can remember. What is that for your product and service? It might be something as simple as, I love that I make my calls, my one-to-one coaching calls are anywhere between 60 and 90 minutes. Meaning that if we're in the middle of something really great, but we're at the end of the 60-minute mark, I'm not going to be like, okay, we are at the end, because I've been on the other end of that with coaching calls or therapy sessions where people say, okay, top of the hour, we are in the minute, we are wrapped up, see you later. No judgment with that. I get it. We got to keep to a schedule. We got back-to-back people. Totally understand. I don't book myself that way. I give myself that extra time to be able to continue the thought with the client, and that they don't feel rushed and they don't feel like another number that at the top of the hour, I'm cutting them off. That's something that I love. That might be really enticing to people. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's, again, there's no judgment here. Maybe it's at the top of the hour, I cut it off. We have 60 minutes together. We're going to get in. We're going to be really intentional. I'm not going to waste your time. And we get in, we get out, and we go, because we're all busy and we got things to do. Right? Again, no judgment. What are, depending on who you are, how you run things, how you do things, what is it that you love? Maybe it's, I love the before and after. I love if you're in a health coach or in weight loss or strength training or whatever that is, relationship therapy. I love to hear the before and after stories of my clients. I love the before and after transformations. I love that I'm able to do that in 6 weeks. I love that I'm able to do that after one session. What do you love? That's the last L. Take some time before you put something out or describe something or tell someone. Go deep with what you love about it and include that. Because we get behind passion. We get behind energy. We get behind enthusiasm. I can't tell you how many people say that. And it was actually on a testimonial reel. Deanne, one of our clients, she said, Lisa gets so excited about the ideas that we come up with together that it makes me really excited. And I never knew that that was something that someone loved about working with me, is my energy, my excitement. Ask other people if you're not sure. Well, hey, what do you love about working with me? What do you love about my program? Love is so huge, right? What does it look like? What's the literal meaning or literal thing that you do, literal description? And what do you love about it? Those are the 3 things I want you to think about when you're talking about your copy or your content. Having said that, I want you to go to www.lisapezik.com. No, I did not add an extra. My brain just wanted to keep adding W's in there. www.lisapezik.com. And I want you to look around at my content. I want you to look at my blogs. I want you to look into more of these podcasts. I want you to sign up for my newsletter. My newsletter is so short and sweet and to the point that it's something that I want you to digest and see the way I describe my content. The newsletter is meant to be digested over a cup of coffee in the morning on Wednesday. It's very visual, and it's not a lot of copy. It's not a lot of context. And I want you to see the way I get that point across incredibly quick in a short amount of time. And I want you to be able to see how I describe the things that I do. So www.lisapezik.com, sign up for the newsletter, check out some of my blogs. And as always, I'm so honored. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you are here. You matter. Your business matters. So go out and keep doing the incredible things that you do. And I'll see you again next time.